Hey, welcome back to Grit Gym. I'm Amber Dunlap here. Amber is the nutritionist out of Grit Gym. Today we're going to talk about calories in versus calories out and why it is not as clear as you have been led to believe. But what is today? Is today Friday?
Today is Friday. The 6th.
Happy Friday. Is it only the 6th?
The 6th.
Happy 4th of July. Hope you guys enjoyed the... What was it called? What did we call it? It was just a special workout.
Oh, I don't know. I just called it the 4th of July obstacle course, I think. I didn't call it anything special.
Before we jump into it, though, we have a few things coming up. What is it? We have, well, actually, Camp Euphoria is next weekend. And then after that, we have the Grit Gym Float.
Right.
Are you coming down?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah.
So you have to bring your own flotation device.
We didn't talk about this before.
Grilling you. You have to bring your own flotation device, and we're going to meet at the campground. We'll have more details in the email. If you're not on the newsletter, go over to the Grit Gym site, gritgym.com, and sign up for the email newsletter, and you'll get more information about it. But we're going to float from Hills to Riverside, which is a nice float. It's better than the one from Iowa City to Hills. A lot less junk along the way. And then a week after that, we'll actually be closed because because all the staff is going to go to perform better and become better coaches there and continue our education. But
I've never floated anywhere before.
Never? Not even like an inner tube in a pool?
Okay, I guess I've done. But I mean, like, I didn't travel in the tube.
Yeah, so you had to, a canoe, a kayak, a paddleboard, something like that. If you're looking for a paddleboard, go to towerpaddleboards.com. That's where we got all paddleboards, and they usually have pretty good deals. They're nice boards.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get a paddleboard?
No.
Are you gonna get a canoe?
I want to float in like an inner tube.
I don't think you want to float in an inner tube down the Iowa River. There's gonna be like a tree that's down. There's gonna be like a branch that's sticking up, and your butt's gonna be sticking in the water, and it's just gonna like stab you, and we're gonna have this awful thing. And like, if you're going to get a wound, I don't think that you want it to happen in the Iowa River.
I don't. Maybe I'm not coming. I think you might have just talked me out of going.
Getting stabbed.
Getting stabbed in the butt has talked me out of it.
Ew, that did sound worse when you said it. All right, so calories in, calories out. What do you got? So should we explain what calories in, calories out means?
Yeah,
in the first place?
It.
I should do it?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Okay, so basically, I always get, like, if you guys watch Parks and Rec, the Andy Dwyer, when he comes into Ron Swanson's office and he's like, "Hey, Ron, did you know that food becomes energy?" Pizza. And then he, like, does some other karate thing and he's like, "Spaghetti." And then he does something else and he's like, "That was a cookie." Or some version of that. I might have been off there or something. But basically, the food that you ate becomes energy, and if you don't burn off all that energy, it turns into fat. Or if you do burn that energy in the form of like resistance training, then it turns into muscle. It can also be used for other metabolic processes. It can be used to heal tissue, which happens all the time. 100% of your life, you're constantly healing. And it goes to your bones, it goes to all these different things, right? And everything that's left over goes out. By that I mean poop. It goes out your butt.
How can we, whenever I'm with you, that's what it comes to?
What's that?
Wasn't last week it was the pee sticks? This week it's the pooping. Gross.
I mean, it's nutrition. It goes in and comes out.
All right.
So calories in, calories out. So, you eat a certain amount of calories.
And a lot of weight loss dieting is based around the concept of calories in, calories out. Everybody has gone through the process of counting their calories to make sure they're either getting enough for weight gain or...
It's miserable.
Or, well, it's miserable either way.
Yep.
Or, a deficit for weight loss, which on paper is 100% true. It does work that way. Yes. So, like, what Adam just explained, it 100% is true. The food you eat and how much of it dictates your weight gain or weight loss on paper.
So, like, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories, right? So, if we drop 500 calories per day, then we're going to drop 3,500 calories over the course of a week. And so, on paper, it would look like you're going to lose 1 pound of fat per week if you drop 500 calories per day. Why doesn't that happen?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why that doesn't happen. We were just discussing this.
Yeah.
So when it comes to calories in, the calories in concept, one of the things that is notoriously bad is that food labels are wrong. They're usually used out of like a database of like, okay, baby carrots are X amount of calories, and that's what goes on the package for everything. I think by law or by like the FDA standards or whatever it is, it's like 20%. I think
I don't remember.
20. It's like 20 or 25%.
They have a variance that they can be off by
either direction,
plus or minus.
Right. So something labeled 100 calories can really be 80 calories or 120 calories.
Yeah.
So food labels are notoriously wrong. Who did you shoot, or McGavin?
Did I shoot McGavin you?
I felt like you did, yeah. I don't know. So that's one way calories in. What?
Nothing.
I'm tired today. Forgive me.
Yeah, food labels are off all the time. They right. Like, you can't rely on the food label to be 100% accurate. And if you're doing this game like as if it's like you have exact math, then well, you're already off from the get-go. Yeah. You just didn't.
Well, you're working with that information.
Yep.
Already. So another way is the way you cook your food can change the amount of calories available to you in it. We were just talking like, I don't know, a potato is like double the amount of calories once you cook it than it is when it's raw. You know, and food labels don't take that into consideration, how you cook your food. Not only how you cook it, but how you like prepare it. Like if you chop it smaller, you blend it, all these different things makes it so more calories are consumed.
Yeah. So if you just picked if you picked a potato right up out of the ground, washed it off and ate it, versus you took a potato, peeled it, boiled it, ground it up into mashed potatoes, added more stuff to it to make it tastier, and then ground it up some more, and then ate it. That's a completely different deal, right? That's it's still a potato, but they're different. You took the fiber out, and then
it's still a potato, but it's still a potato. It is a more available for your body to take.
Yeah. So you absorb more of it.
Let's see what else. So I'm like, I can't even read my own handwriting. So you don't actually digest all of the food you eat anyway. Different foods are going to be more available than others. But, you know, just because something's 100 calories doesn't mean that you personally are actually intaking 100 calories. Yeah. There's kind of variables on both sides. Like different foods and there's a million variables in the amount of foods, and what can change what you absorb. But you don't actually absorb all of it. And the problem is different foods and different people all do it differently. Yeah.
So if you're drinking a liquid calorie like milk, let's say, maybe milk's bad, but like
milk was a bad choice.
Yeah, milk was a bad choice. But like if you're drinking a sugary drink, it's all and like you're going to absorb a lot of the calories that came in that way. Whereas if you eat something with a lot of fiber, a decent amount of fat, decent amount of protein that's going to take some work to break it down, you're going to absorb a lot less of that.
Yeah.
So like with all of this stuff, like calories in, the amount of calories that we eat in, if we actually could sit down and figure out how many calories was in each one based on the number of chemical processes that happened before we actually ate them, sure. All right, well then they go into us, and whatever comes out the other end, so we went back to poop again, my bad. Whatever comes out the other end is all the things that you didn't absorb, basically.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. If you didn't have that, you'd be real sick.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just so many things that go into it. But, you know, and also during the digestion process, different types of foods are also you're going to need calories to digest the food. So it's kind of like protein is actually the one that requires the most amount of calories to digest. So
What about celery and the reverse calorie?
I don't think
that's not a thing. It's completely disproven, and it's annoying. Calories that reverse calories that people think that if you eat celery, your body puts more energy into breaking it down than the calories that it gets from it. But that's bogus. That is not accurate whatsoever. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat celery. Celery is great, but
I'm so sick of people not wanting calories in their food. Like, your food is supposed to,
your food is supposed to be
calories
full of calories. Like, if you pick up something that says 0 calories, please, I'm asking you, please.
Analyze what are you in it, what's in it.
Ask yourself, what is it then? If it has 0 calories, what's in it?
It's a chemical.
Yeah.
You're just eating chemicals.
Okay, can we go into portion size? Or wait, did you want to go?
No, we can. I'm done. I'm just ranting.
All right, so portion size. The first time that I was ever introduced to this, there was a study where they took a bowl of soup and they asked people, and they made it a bottomless bowl of soup, so they could just fill more soup into the bowl. And they asked them,
where do you get a bottomless bowl of soup?
I don't know, but it's
I would like to go to that place.
It was attached to the table, and then there was like a tube that went in. And they asked them, like, how much do you think you would have normally ate versus anyway? They did a study, all this stuff, and they found that people ate about double if they didn't know that they were. If there wasn't a bottom to the bowl.
I believe it. Yeah, people...
but everybody thought that they ate the same.
Really?
They're like, no, I ate about the same. No, they ate like double.
That's
like,
crazy.
Double. Yeah.
So people are notoriously bad at eyeballing portion size. So you get your box of Cheez-Its, and you're like, oh, 36 crackers. And then you sit there with your box, and you eat it, and you're like, I probably had about 36 crackers. You didn't have 36 crackers. That never happens, right? Like, or if like a tablespoon of peanut butter is a serving size. When's the last time you used a tablespoon of peanut butter on anything, right?
Yeah.
Nobody we think that we do a good job.
Yeah.
People do. People think they do an awesome job at eyeballing portion size. Yep. It turns out people do a terrible job of portion size.
Yeah. Even and this is kind of. Almost manipulative by Subway, but like Subway tells you the number of calories in each one of their sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's before they had the oil, before they had the mayonnaise, before they had the sauce.
Anything, yeah.
It's like, duh. Well, that's like, we just we just doubled it right there when you just mayonnaise on top of it, you know?
Right.
So like eyeballing portion size, calories in, we're not as legit as we think we are.
No, we aren't.
And this goes for us too, is what we're doing. This isn't us passing judgment. This is just humans in general.
We are in a judge-free zone.
Are we?
Yeah, it's a judge-free bubble.
I'm going to judge the shit out of you.
He is, probably. All right, calories out.
Calories out.
Okay, so estimating how many calories are burned during an activity are wildly inaccurate.
Say it again.
Okay, so, you know those, like, you're on the treadmill and it tells you burned 230 what? That's the treadmill thing. What?
No, it's good.
You like my running? 230 calories. Yeah.
Judging.
230 calories.
Yeah.
From running.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that the treadmill
No.
is right?
Okay, so, let's analyze it real quick. Treadmill, let's say the treadmill is not hooked up to a heart monitor or anything like most of them are.
Or even if they are, right? They're probably a crap one.
Yeah,
anyway.
but let's just take it like, let's say you got on this treadmill A, I got on treadmill B. They're identical treadmills. Mm-hmm. I'm 6'4", 240 pounds. You're not 6'4", you're not 240 pounds.
No.
And so...
I like how you did that. That was good.
And I'm probably, I don't know, like 12, 14% body fat. And we get on there, and we're running, and you're female, like I kind of hope. And we're running. Now I'm running. What the hell? What did you do?
This is us running.
All right. And we're running on the treadmills, like at the same speed for the same amount of time at the same incline. Our readouts are going to be the same.
Exactly the same.
But did we burn the same amount of calories?
Probably not.
No, I'm bigger with more muscle mass, with more weight to move, with more, just like more mass to lug around on this thing. Of course, I'm going to burn a lot more calories.
Yeah. So
no, they're wrong.
But when you find out like what an activity that like there's charts, right? Or my Apple Watch will tell me like for the most part like they're a guess at best.
Yeah.
But
even the Fitbit comes out and says that like on in their stuff they say like this is not to be used as accurate or precise in their step meter thing and their pedometer. Yeah, thank you.
A stepometer.
I saw almost what I called it. A step meter. I was like, whatever. But anyway, their step thing and then their heart rate thing and like all their stuff, like it lists it out and it says this is not to be used as like your Fitbit is an entertainment tool. It is, and we've like.
Well, we talked about this last time, right? Like with like why I think that like the alkaline diet people just like it because they get the instant like readout of it. It's the same thing with a Fitbit. Like it just people like to feel like they're doing something, so they like to like have instant gratification of like reminding themselves that they're doing things. Which is okay.
Like nothing wrong with it. Like I'm not hating on your Fitbit or anything. You want to use your Fitbit, use your Fitbit. That's like
I'm wearing an Apple Watch
for going to the movies. Like I don't care. Go to the movies.
but it's not the Bible of caloric readouts, you know.
We
like
could say the Bible's not even the Bible.
oh, here we no,
should
never
probably
mind.
stay away from this one.
What would you like me to call it? Like, what's a better analogy? It is not the.
I have no idea. It is not the objective reality.
So aggressive.
I have no idea. But no, like it's just not accurate.
But yeah, if you Google right now, like, oh, if I'm going to swim for an hour, how many calories am I going to burn? You're going to get a number, and it may be ballpark, but it's not a real measurement tool.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, like, just go swimming and have fun.
Well, right. I mean, move. Yeah. Move and don't worry about it. Yeah.
But yeah, all these things. So basically, calories out can happen in, it's really three different ways, but two big different ways. Either you expend the energy by moving around and doing stuff, right? And I think this is a big one that's very misunderrepresented, like not misunderstood, but like it's underappreciated. Only 8% of the United States actually gets enough activity to reap the rewards of their activity. Like, that's how sedentary we all are. Like, only 8%. Almost 50% of the United States is actually obese. I think it's in the 60% now that are actually overweight. So, like, obviously, expenditure of your calories is a big deal. We are not getting enough of that. But the other way that you can, that calories go out, that we use calories by what's going on inside of our body. Because even while you sleep, you're still burning calories, right? Because your heart needs to beat, you need to breathe, you have metabolic processes going on, you're recovering from the day.
Everybody has a baseline.
Yeah. And then the other way that calories come out is what we already talked about. That's with your poo.
So, also when it comes to the way you use it, things like stress, hormones, fat percentage, genetics,
body size,
all these things are going to affect how you personally burn calories. Mm-hmm. So that changes person to person. And then...
oh yeah, let's go through metabolic rate. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think this is really misunderstood because like I talk to some people and it's as if they think that your metabolism is an organ inside your body. That's like almost how they think of metabolism. Like
it would be nice. I mean, it'd be easier.
It would, but your metabolism is really just a unit of measure. It's nothing. It's no different than a ruler,
right?
You know? Or a measuring stick.
And your endocrine system is
Yeah, it's not. Your metabolism isn't like in charge of something. It's something that we use to measure.
Right. So it's called adaptive thermogenesis. Adam made fun of me for using that word earlier, or words.
It's fancy. You're fancy.
So this is really like the takeaway of why you really need to be mindful when dieting. Mm-hmm. So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds and you restrict your calories. You drop 500 calories a day and you eventually lose your 10 pounds.
I should be there in 10 weeks.
Fine. Let's say you did. Let's say you did it that way and it worked. Great. Awesome. So the problem is over time, your body adjusts. Yeah. Your body is smarter than you. Evolution is smarter than you.
Your body's got billions of years.
Yeah. So over time, your metabolic rate is going to slow. Your body thinks that you've heard of like the starvation mode. It's that concept where over time, it's getting less calories and it starts to think like, oh, this is how I have to live without calories. Yeah. So it slows your metabolic rate to adapt. It's just an adaptation in case you really did need to adapt. So what happens is, for now going forward, once you go into that mode, there's a lot of like leptin is triggered and like hunger cues are triggered, and that's where you have to fight the diet, right? Where you're like, I can't be on this diet anymore, I'm so hungry, and that's where most people fail because your body's trying to be like, hey, don't die, don't starve, like it's trying to help you out. I mean, we're all so mean to our bodies and so hard on ourselves, but really, like it's on your team. It's trying to do as much as it can to keep you alive. So, so over time, that deficit, you have to maintain it for a lot of people, almost everybody. So the thing is, if you're going to go into a 500 calorie deficit, it's nice to think that it's going to be this short-term thing that you're going to be able to I'm going to diet for 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to my goal weight, and then I'm going to just go back to normal. But you won't maintain.
Yeah, you'll go back to normal, and then you'll go back to the old normal,
Right.
like that your body was before. You'll gain back everything because you dropped down so far. Your normal came down to here, then you added the calories back in, and then you shoot back up to that fat level.
Yeah, so you're talking like a long term. Like that's why we talk about lifestyle change and not dieting, because if you're going to take on a diet, like you need to really think like, am I going to do this forever?
Yeah.
Because if the answer is no, you're doing more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a person who literally can do it forever, and some people do. I have friends that like do keto, right? And they live that lifestyle. And I'm just saying, but they whether or not they will or not, but like they understand it's a lifestyle choice, right? Like if you're going to live the rest of your life like that and be honest with yourself that that's how you're going to live, that's one thing. Like we can talk about all different diets, that case. But
I want pizza.
Right. But if you want pizza,
and I want tacos,
right?
And I want what I want. I want ice cream.
Right. These are all but the problem is, So when you're doing a lot of harm to your metabolic rate by messing with it like that, and every time you do it, the harder it gets, you know, so.
Because your body gets smarter.
Yeah.
If you try to get, if you think like, okay, so if you walked up to me, slapped me across the face, even like, let's say we become friends, you come up to me, you slap me across the face, I'm like, well, damn. Okay. Well, the next time that you come up to me, I'm going to be on guard, right? Like you might slap me in the face again. You slap me in the face again. I'm like, oh man, the next time I'm going to learn. Next time I'm going to learn. Next time I'm going to learn to be better at that thing. So the first time that you starve your body down, well, you might have lost a lot of weight, been very successful, but then you go back to your old lifestyle, and you're going to end up gaining all that weight back. Every single one, 100% of the contestants from The Biggest Loser gained all of their weight back. Every single one of them, because they didn't change the lifestyle around their nutrition.
Well, yeah, the concept of a quick fix, like it exists, but it's not sustainable, right? Like you want to fit into your wedding dress, so you go on a huge caloric deficit, lose all this weight. Well, like after your wedding, if you're going to gain it back because you aren't going to live like that.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to really think about it before you go on a diet like that, like an extreme diet, because unless it's a lifestyle change for you, it's doing more harm than good. Yeah.
And all the diets that you hear are just strategies anyway. So so you just got to get better at strategy. And that's what we do at Grit Gym. We use these strategies to create a long-term change so that you can do it for forever, not so that you can do this like crazy crash diet, lose a bunch of weight, and then be like, okay, well, see ya, I hope it works forever. Like no, let's create the sustainable change. But so we've got calories out, we've got calories in. We know that the calories in is not accurate. We know that
the calories out isn't accurate.
The calories out isn't accurate. We know that there's all these different variables in here. Like for instance, can we go into absorption for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So what are some factors that affect absorption?
Well, everything, right? Like your gut health would.
Gut health would be a really big one.
Yeah.
So if you don't have, so if your body isn't secreting, so let's say an easy one, like if you can't, like if you're lactose intolerant, that means you don't produce lactase to break down the lactose, right? So you get really sick. Well, that's just an enzyme. Your body produces all these enzymes. If you're not producing enough enzymes to break down the food, you won't absorb that food. So that's not, by the way, that's not a, I know that's going to get into the, that sounds great, I should have less enzymes. And then I won't break down as much food.
No, you need the enzymes.
No, you want the enzymes.
The enzymes are important.
Well, there was a drug not that long ago, about I don't know, came out in like 2006, called Ally, that blocked your body's absorption of fat. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I remember having clients who were like, "I'm going to go on this," and I'm like, "Don't do that. Think of that. That's like putting a slip and slide in your intestines."
Oh God, I hope the face I just made. I hope that's not the still. You know how that happens?
Yeah. I'm
like
sure
whatever the.
It'll probably be me going like this, because that's. What
it'll be me like with like weird face.
But no, it's like Think of that. Like if you can't absorb the fat, it's just going to...
But it's...
People got really, really sick.
Yeah.
There was that lean fat that your body couldn't absorb, and they had to write on the bag, may cause anal leakage. Like, man, like, no.
Not good. But
Not good.
yeah, I mean...
You want to be able to absorb this stuff.
With that absorption thing, I mean, whether it's something like that or it's an extremely calorie restrictive diet, you're getting into nutrient deficient territory. I mean, like we were talking about. Well, it all ties in.
Yeah,
I think.
it totally does.
But if you're gonna eat 1,000 calories a day,
which is absurdly low.
Right.
That's insane. That's like 4 glasses of milk.
But like Jenny Craig might put you. I feel like they put people on.
Yeah, they put a guy my size on a 1,500 calorie diet.
Right. So someone my size could probably easily be on 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,000 calorie diet. My opinion, for what it's worth, is I do not think that it is possible to be on 1,000 calorie diet a day and not be nutrient deficient.
And what is it? So when you say nutrient deficient, like
you are not getting the nutrients your body needs to function optimally.
What's it lead to?
I mean, also a breakdown of all sorts of things. I mean,
basically every disease there is.
Diseases. Yeah.
Your body can't heal. Your body can't replicate.
Right.
Your body can't deal. You get osteoporosis. Your body breaks down faster. You age faster. You feel like shit all the time.
But absorption, like the better your absorption is, the healthier you are.
Yeah.
Like you want your body to absorb everything.
Yeah.
You just want to put good stuff in.
Yeah. What about the stuff that you take with, like the people who think that you should take extra enzymes so that you can absorb more of your food?
I don't really know a lot about that, but
I don't either. But it sounds really silly to me.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
I've tried it. It's okay. I don't know. It's fine.
Did you feel like you absorbed more? Could you feel
it
it
I
working?
don't think it mattered much at all, really.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's probably a place for it, right? Like if you have a legitimate like enzyme problem.
Oh, totally.
That
100%.
like if you really are lacking enzymes.
But just the average everyday person,
but like,
I think it's a bit wasteful.
Right, because here's like the thing is the problem with a lot of nutrition stuff is unless you're willing to spend a lot of money and find a practitioner willing to play the game with you, everything's a guessing game. Mm-hmm. So you don't know like what nutrients you're deficient in, or like what enzymes you have, or where your hormones are at, or all these things that would play into it. And even if you did have all the information, there's still so many variables.
Yeah,
it's a moving target.
It's always like
it's a moving
you
target.
You want to make the most educated guess that you possibly can, but it's still a guess. Like you still have to. Yeah. You will not know until you get there. Like, we just are not going to know until we get there. So we get as much data as we possibly can. We make an extremely educated guess based on all of the research and all of the knowledge and all the intelligence and all the logic that we have, and then we go with it. And we do the absolute best we possibly can within that.
In like the lowest common denominator, right? Like like that generally speaking, like broccoli is safe and healthy for everybody. There's things that we know are good for everybody, generally speaking, unless you have some allergy to it or something. Right. But you know what I mean? Like, you go with the most nutrient dense.
Yeah, regardless of what you want in your life, like whether you want fat loss, you want muscle gain, you
still want to be healthy.
Fiber is still going to be a very good thing. Vegetables and fruit are going to be a very good thing. Like you would have to eat a ton of fruits and vegetables for it to become problematic. Grass-fed beef is always going to be for the most part, unless you have some kind of unless you're an outlier, you have an allergy, you have some kind of enzyme deficiency, you have some kind of sickness that's causing you a problem. You're going to be fine with the majority of the stuff that we've just said.
Yeah.
But anyway. There's just tons of factors that change your absorption. Chewing your food more, chopping your food, boiling your food, cooking just in general. Are you taking a ton of stimulants? If you're taking a ton of stimulants, your body's going to push that through way faster. If you're super stressed, you're going to absorb less of the food that you eat.
When I had Graves' disease, when my thyroid was super hyper, and which is part of your metabolism. but it's part of the system.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I lost tons and tons of weight because everything was like, my whole body was in hyper overdrive. I can't imagine it was absorbing very well anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were probably
and I was eating
constantly
plenty.
in a sympathetic state.
Yeah, and
your body thought it was like your body was in a fight between like
Yeah.
I'm trying to live and I'm trying to kill my your
Yeah.
body's trying to kill you, and at the same time your body's trying to live. So there's like this civil war going inside and your biological makeup.
But it's that same thing. Like, I ate tons of food, but I managed to lose weight because it was so
Right.
sped up. You know.
Yeah.
In sleep and stress management and hormones and all those things, they all matter.
I think that one is probably the most under like represented.
I feel like you already said that once.
What is the? No, like I mean the most underappreciated one. Like what was the other one that I said? I think it's.
I don't remember.
Oh, activity is very
Oh.
underappreciated, but I think that like sleep. So like two sides of the coin. Like either like being very very active and getting good sleep. I don't think that we're doing well on either. Like just as a whole.
We're
like,
sedentary with terrible sleep.
we underestimate how important sleep is. That's the word I was going for. We underestimate how important sleep is. If you increase your sleep by 1 hour every night, I almost guarantee you your fat percentage would go down if you changed nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you increase your activity level and you increase your sleep level by 1 hour, man, you probably like
you're on the good path.
Everybody would benefit from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But as a general, just being very general. So calories in, calories out. Calories in, we know that's not accurate.
Calories out's not accurate.
Nope. So what do we do? What's the solution?
I mean, the solution is be reasonable with your diet, right? Like eat nourishing good foods, try and make better decisions,
Yeah.
live a nutritious lifestyle, don't crash diet.
Yeah. I think all the mindset stuff really comes back to this, like being around other people that are on the same path that you want to get on is going to help you out.
Sure.
You know, like that. You can't fly with You can't fly with the eagles if you're hanging with the turkeys or whatever the hell that.
We should put that on a shirt.
But I think you're just bound to
calories
eat more like the people that you're around.
Well, and calorie counting only is really super valuable if you're counting junk.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're eating like a Big Mac, Oreos, Doritos, like you're just eating all this junk, you should probably keep it under a certain number, right? Like that makes sense, I suppose. But that's not a good way to eat. Yeah. If you're eating the right stuff most of the time, I don't know, the calorie counting becomes, it seems pretty pointless at that point.
I think it all seems pretty pointless because like you eat, like you want to go with like so like you eat 100 calories of steamed spinach,
right,
versus 100 calories of candy. Like those are not the same 100 calories.
Yeah.
Like your body's gonna absorb way more of one than of the other.
And one has a benefit, right? Like
Yeah.
one has like nutritive benefits to it.
I mean, unless you're I mean, even if moderation, yeah.
I could start a whole another conversation on moderation.
That's a big one. But yeah, if you're stuck
we'll do that next
if you're stuck on a deserted island, do you pick the vegetable or do you pick the candy? No, you pick the candy.
You want all the calories possible, yeah.
But if you're in the world that we live in today, you probably want to stick with the
spinach,
vegetable.
Yeah.
I like the spinach.
I like spinach.
Steamed spinach is really nice, actually, because you get this huge thing of spinach, and it boils down into like the size of my fist. So it'd be like eating anyway. Want to send us off?
How do you do that? What do you like?
You Shooter McGavin, and then I don't know. I'm making shit up. But you did a great shooter.
Thank you. I'll do it again. I hope that's the freeze frame now.
All right, thanks for being here, guys. Please like, comment, share. If you want to get in for the float event, we're going to send out an email pretty soon, so definitely head over to gritgym.com and sign up for the newsletter, and you will get a notification for it. It's on the 21st of this month. You have to bring your own flotation device. That's the only thing. Well, let's say that you have to bring a positive attitude with you too. That'd be a good one. But otherwise, please like, comment, share below. If you have any questions, please ask. This is definitely a time where you can come on the show and you can ask the nutritionist Amber any questions around nutrition, anything about food. This is going to be a very good time to hop on the show live with us. So and this isn't recorded before, and then like you're here at the same time we are. So anyway, 12:30 each weekday. We'll see Amber next Friday.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'll see me on Monday. Anyway, thanks, guys.
I'll see me on Monday.
I'll see me on Monday. All right. See you guys.